Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today we're talking about Into the Dead 2. What would be a spooked series without a good zombie game? I never played the first Into the Dead and I had never really even heard of this game before, and so I did a little bit of digging after playing the first couple levels of this game, and that's when I came to find out why this game has never been on my radar before. It is a phone game. Sure enough, I could pull out my iPhone right now and download Into the Dead 1, 2, and then I believe there's a third one. And so it has a lot of trappings of a mobile game simply ported to a console, and this has a lot of cons to it. So let me explain. First and foremost, it is a auto runner through a zombie apocalypse. Your character is running straight forward, and then you can slightly lean left or right about 20 degrees, and you have very limited ammo that you can shoot at zombies in your way. But like I mentioned, the ammo is very scarce. Granted, you can find these ammo caches to give you just a little bit of ammo, but really you don't have too much. You're not going to be shooting a ton of zombies like I had hoped when I picked up this game initially. Most of the time you will just be weaving slightly back and forth through all of these zombies until you reach the end goal limit, and then you get a brief tiny little bit of story through a walkie-talkie. Basically, you are playing as a character named James, and you never see him. You only see his hands while he's running and shooting. And at the end of each level, he talks on the walkie-talkie to mainly his sister, who is protecting his daughter, and he is trying to reach them because he got in a car wreck while he was getting supplies, and now he has to run to wherever they are. And so you kind of get a brief little, quick little 10 to 20 second clip of what's happening to James's sister. Ultimately, I thought whatever I was hearing from the walkie-talkie from Maggie, that's the zombie story I wanted to have. She's going through and she's getting picked up by army guys and getting involved in cults and having to amputate arms and stuff like that. And every time I would listen to her, I kind of felt a little jealous. I'd rather go through what she's going through in this zombie apocalypse, because that actually sounds interesting compared to what James is going through. He's just running between zombies with no character development whatsoever. It's just so boring and samey. So each level is pretty short. Before you go into the level, you can choose a loadout. This consists of 2 different guns and a dog companion. That's another little good thing about this game, is you have a dog companion. I got to name mine, so obviously I named it Ziggy after my dog. And then as you progress through the chapters, you get this resource gold, and that's another dead hint that this is a mobile game where obviously you can buy more gold with real money if you wanted to on a phone game, but since this is a console game, it doesn't even give you that option. So you use this gold to unlock new weapons and to upgrade your weapons, to upgrade your dog. But the gold is very hard to come by. The only real ways to unlock gold on the console version, aside from spending real money if you're playing the phone version, you play each level and you have a choice between a temporary boost for that level or 5 gold, or if you unlock enough of the stars, you'd hit these certain thresholds to unlock a big chunk of gold at once. Really it's only 100 gold, and you can't even buy a gun for 100 gold. The stars themselves, each of these levels have these 5 objectives, and they are unrealistically hard, especially if you aren't using any of these boosts, things like kill 100 zombies, but you only start with 5 bullets in your gun. So it's okay, how am I supposed to do that? Just super unrealistic. Most often I would only get 1 objective for every level, and the first objective for everyone is simply beat the level. So that's pretty much the only way I was accruing these stars to get this gold. Most of the time I would just hold on to all of my gold and save up to when I could finally upgrade my dog, because your dog just automatically attacks a zombie. I don't think there's any way to activate when your dog attacks. However, in the controls, it says that you can use your companion ability by pressing B. I never came across that, my dog would just attack whenever he felt like it. Pressing B did absolutely nothing for that. So as you upgrade your dog, it seems like he will attack zombies more frequently. So that's why I saved up all of my gold for that kind of stuff, because it just seems like every time you have the opportunity to unlock a new gun, you do it, and then you play through a couple levels, you have the ability to unlock an even stronger gun than that. So it just kind of felt pointless to me to do that. I didn't even have enough gold really to upgrade my dog all the way after completely beating this game. That's how stingy they are with rolling out the gold on this console version. You can pick up temporary items during your runs. Certain ones will have like a chainsaw hidden throughout the level, or like this weed whacker, and it'll give you just a certain amount of gasoline, I guess, to use those and just to completely demolish the zombies. But these are far and few between, especially if you're doing this runner and you don't know where they are. You just kind of have to be lucky, and this is the case for all your runs. Runs can be pretty boring if you don't come across any of these ammo caches. You're just gonna be weaving in and out of zombies, which, I mean, okay, cool, I guess. Even when you do have ammo and you're shooting zombies, it's still just not that engaging. It definitely feels like a phone game because the controls are very minimal and you're just doing the same thing every level over and over again. They do give you one free knife, and this is kind of like a get out of jail free card. If you do happen to run into a zombie, you just hit them with the knife. That will break your knife for that run, but most of the time I felt like I didn't even need to necessarily use my knife unless something really cheap happened. Sometimes they will take you into like a cornfield and you can't see where zombies are. That's one that will get me. Or other times they kind of like shoehorn you into this narrow pathway and there will be a zombie and you won't have enough ammo to kill it. That's another way that they'll get you. And it also incentivizes you to try and unlock the really strong guns, because as you progress through the levels, you come across tougher and tougher zombies to kill. It appears that in the apocalypse, the really chunky, fat zombies are the ones that can take more bullets. So if you do want to be a tough zombie, just eat a ton of food and you'll be all ready to survive this zombie apocalypse as a zombie. But hey, at least you'll be pretty tough to kill as a zombie. Oh, there is one other tier that's tougher than the really fat zombies, and that's the super ripped zombies. So maybe you can go one way or the other. You can just eat a ton of food and become incredibly obese, or you can just work out until you're a Hulk Hogan, your choice. I did come across a couple glitches too, just objects going around all over the place, or I would switch out my gun, but I'd still also be holding my other gun, and so I'm just holding two guns at once, and it tries to fire the gun that I had just recently switched out. That happened a couple times. This one happened almost every single time, where after you beat the level and you're on the walkie-talkie with James' sister, just hearing what's going on over there, all that exciting stuff, your dog will just be running in place just because doing that running animation, I guess. So I finally beat all of the levels, and the ending was incredibly unsatisfying. It was a very dark ending, very sad, definitely not worth it. And then I come to find out, oh, if you get this many stars, then you'll get a medium ending, and if you unlock this many of these objective stars, you'll get the good ending. And that's the point where I just said, nope, I ran the credits, I'm done with this ridiculous game. I can't believe that I spent money on this free mobile game. It is just such a lazy thing to do, and it was just so repetitive and boring. I haven't given one of these out for a while, and this is definitely a first for the Spooked series, but I think I'm gonna have to give this game a 1 out of 5. I recommend, even if you're a fan of zombie games, just stay away from this one. Well guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about Into the Dead, and have you played this game on your phone? Do you know anything about this game? I'd love to hear your experiences with it. I'll talk to you later. Bye!